Everyone and welcome to the program. I'm Sean Kimbaloye in Lagos. The race to the 2019 election gets thicker as the clock ticks. That is expected. Another established fact is 2019 elections will be keenly contested at all levels. What is yet to be determined is who will first of all emerge as flag bearer of the respective parties. Some individuals are already showing interest in different leadership positions and some without party affiliations just yet. Come 2019, almost all elective offices will be thrown open, and of course, the nation's top job comes with the highest stakes. In the last couple of months, the political space has been filled with new entrants who are apparently dissatisfied with the business as usual and now challenging the old ways and long reigns of political, career politicians. Ahmed Buhari is young and promises a departure from the norm. He has vowed to do all it takes to wrestle power from his namesake, President Ahmed Buhari, in 2019. He joins us now on the program from our Abuja studio. Many thanks for joining us, Mr. Buhari, on the program tonight. Coincidence, isn't it, that you have the same surname with President Muhammadu Buhari, and you are saying that you want to be president also in 2019. What are your reasons?
Thank you, Sharon. Good to be here. Well, first of all, if you're asking me what my reasons are, it's because I come to realize that I'm too relevant for my generation to hear that I existed without making an impact. And more than anything else, I come from a generation that is sick and tired of the rhetorics that we are not prepared to do anything. I've had people say we're lazy. I've had people say that we're not prepared, we're not ready. On the 1st of October 2016, I decided to defy all of those odds and step forward to vie for the highest office of the land. And that is because I decided that I would not stand on the sidelines anymore. I would actually step to the fore and actually change the narrative. I'm glad today there are many young people who are following suit, and I'm hoping that the narrative will change towards 2019. I'm very optimistic that we would have different kinds of people vying for this office, and I'm hoping that Nigerians will pay attention to what is most important, which are the issues, and see how we can push aside all the other things that have always separated us, whether ethnicity, whether religion, whether social status, or political party ideological affiliations, and just focus on what we have to do to get this country moving forward.
Is it the narrative that is your concern, or what exactly? You said you're concerned that the narrative now is changing when you step forward. You're just 40 this year, and that means that you just attained the age statutorily slated in the Constitution for a Nigerian to run for the office of the president. So what exactly is at the heart of your wanting to be president, aside the narrative which you said has changed?
So, if the narrative change, what we would expect in the bigger picture is that we'll get a proper system of governance that is going to carry everybody along. 4 things we have stood for, and we want the 4 things that we stand for. First of all, we want a united country. We want a country where we all look at ourselves, regardless of the things that have always divided us, whether it be ethnicity, whether it be religion, whether it be social status, whether it be political party ideological affiliations, whether it be gender. We want to have a people that will be united. Secondly, we want to have a secure country. This country is not secure, and everything seems to be falling apart. Thirdly, we want to have a decentralized system of government, which means we do support restructuring, where every state government can start taking care of its own resources and ensure that it gives to the people what they do deserve, and the people will know who exactly to hold accountable should anything be falling short. And then fourthly, we want to have a country where we can all depend or leverage on our comparative economic advantages. These comparative economic advantages are the things that bring us together to see how we can move our economy forward. But fourthly, and this is very crucial, none of these things will really happen if we do not have proper data management systems that will be driven by technologically driven systems to get us towards where we want to go to.
But it's interesting because one of the things that you have said, you say that you want to take Nigeria out of the quagmire to a destination that will benefit all Nigerians. So, and the big question will be, for anyone aspiring for the highest job in the land, such as the office of the president, the big question will be, how much of the political currency, the that you have to be able to master your way into the political waters. You are just an outsider. You've been in business, and now you want to be a mainstream politician. So it's going to be a very big one for you, isn't it?
Well, from all indications, what we've seen over and over are the same kind of people trying to present us with the same kind of politics, and this hasn't moved us anywhere. So what we expect Nigerians to start thinking is to think, if you do want something to work forward, you should be prepared to pay for the kind of democracy that you deserve. Otherwise, you will be paid for the kind of democracy that you get. What does this really mean? It means at this juncture, Nigerians must have to bottle their bellies and say, you know what, if we have gone through a lot of struggle through the last 3 years, what stops us from holding on for the last year and ensure that we pick the right people into office? We expect that Nigerians should understand that each time a politician puts his hands in his pocket to pay for a campaign process, he is going to be looking forward to receiving all of those kind of monies back, but in folds. And only he can determine the return of investment time. So if we do not do something different from how it's always been done, we'll keep getting the same result that we've always gotten. I expect that even though I've never been in the political space, I want Nigerians to understand that the kind of experience required for good leadership does not have to be earned through a political process. These are the mindset that we have to get our people out of so that we can start looking forward to having a country that is going to start shunning things like state of origin, quota systems, and all of those things that have pushed us backward. Let's focus on competence, let's focus on antecedents, and see how we can get that kind of Nigeria that we do desire.
So on what political platform are you hoping to fly on this particular course? Because you cannot be a president or a governor, and in fact, any office of that in the political space without being under any platform of the political party. Which one is your political party?
Obviously, we cannot... Obviously, we're not going to run this campaign. We're not going to run this campaign without running it on a political platform. But what we've done so far is to make Nigerians understand that regardless of the political party we're going to be running with, they should focus on the issues more than anything else. Let's see how Nigerians can start listening to the issues over the political parties. However, I've been having deep conversations with a lot of political parties, and we are going to be making a declaration on the 15th of June 2018, so the whole world will know exactly what platform we'll be running with in 2019.
Is your name a plus for you, or what exactly do you think that name Buhari will be for you at the polls?
Again, this is a big question. A lot of people from different parts of the country, regardless of what political progression or dividends of democracy that they receive, they're fixated on supporting the incumbent. Some of them decide, oh, we're not going to support the incumbent because he doesn't come from where we come from. I think what more than anything else, what this campaign is going to be given to Nigerians as I run towards 2019, running alongside the incumbent, is that Nigerians are going to start focusing on the antecedents. Nigerians are going to start focusing on what we've got to deliver. Nigerians are going to start focusing on the content of my character over my name. A name is a general term for anything you want to classify. I mean, but what is most important is to see how Nigerians at this very crucial time will start understanding that just because you bear Shewun, not all Shewuns are like you. You know, and I am hoping that this will be a reawakening as to how we normally, you know, generalize people or generalize things, as the case may be. So it may be a plus, it may be a minus, whatever the case is. I am hoping that Nigerians are listening, paying attention, and looking forward to a better country.
We here at Channels Television, we've taken it upon ourselves to take out and draw out people, especially the newcomers in the race, to help them be able to drive their ambition and speak to Nigerians on their agenda, a multi-platform for Nigerians to be able to pick from. So, for example, where are you going to be getting your funding from? Because that is going to be very crucial. You cannot run a political campaign without some money.
That is very correct. No matter how you want to look at it, political campaigns are expensive. Whether it's going to be the logistics from moving from point A to point B, or it's going to be the media adverts that we're going to be paying for. However, when we started this in 2016, we knew very well that one person couldn't drive this to the very end. And that is, at that point, we decided we were going to create platforms. We're going to create a structure. And that was when we created the Reformation Movement. The Reformation Movement exists in all the 36 states of the country, including Abuja and the diaspora. And what this group has done for us is to see how we can support ourselves with the little that we have, so that it will be easier for us to communicate, it will be easier for us to reach out to the different local governments that we visited in the last 2 years, because as we speak right now, there are just 4 states we haven't been to. However, we're going to be running all of those things over again, because right now, the consciousness of young people within the Reformation Movement has actually awakened, and they're more concerned and they're more drawn into participating in not just governance and politics, but understanding the structures that can give us the kind of dividends of democracy that we want.
On the final note tonight,
again,
Mr. Buhari,
structures and these people that have been involved.
Okay, on the final note, before we draw the curtains of this conversation about your ambition, it's a fact that a lot of people will say, why don't you start from a lower office? Is it compulsory for you to be the president of Nigeria? Why don't you perhaps long to be the governor of Niger State, where you're from, for example, or be something else across the country, maybe in the National Assembly? Should you lose in this very one, would you be considering maybe running for a lower office?
It is important for anybody who is listening to understand that this is not an ambition, it's a vision. And because it's a vision, we are prepared to carry it to the very end. And what I want everybody to understand here is, if I had run for a local government chairman, if I had run for a member of the House, we won't be having this conversation today, Shewun. But that singular action that I made on the 1st of October 2016 has stirred up not just my ambition, not just my vision, but that of 100 other young people. And I am hoping that this will continue, so that by 2019 we will have more competent people vying for that office, more people who understand the dynamics. And again, for all of those people listening, there's one thing I like to say. Age is not a function of good leadership. It is the antecedents of that individual. It is the track records of that individual. It is the readiness and the political will of that individual that we should be focusing on.
Ahmed Buhari, 40-year-old ICT expert who has his business in Lagos and his own part of the country, wanting to become president of Nigeria, has been talking to us on the program tonight from our Abuja studio. Many thanks for your time, and I wish you the very best in the coming days. Thank you.